This week, I think I saw a Yeezy, I definitely saw a Jordan, and let's take one last look at some of those AllStar releases. I am your host, Jacques Slade, and this is the Weekly Review.
My kick's on fire.
The Nike Air Yeezy is one of the most sought-after celebrity releases in recent history, so it would only make sense that the fans would be pretty excited about the Nike Air Yeezy 2. Now, while we don't have any solid details about the shoe, we do believe we have a glimpse of the shoe in the new Kobe film, The Black Mamba. Now, in the film, Kanye plays the role of the boss, and throughout the film, we get a couple glimpses of his sneakers. Now, due to Kicks on Fire's CSI-like picture enhance like abilities, we were able to see that the shoe has a black upper, it has a white outsole, and a red liner, and we believe there's either a strap across the midfoot or across the ankle. We just weren't exactly clear. Now, Nike and Kanye rather, have not released any information about the shoe, so we don't know if this is in fact an Air Yeezy 2 or just a Nike silhouette that we really couldn't see because it was really dark in the Robert Rodriguez style of film. Either way, the blogs are a-buzzing about it, and people are pretty excited about the Nike Air Yeezy 2. So Kanye, if you're listening, let us know what's going on. With that said, let's move on to number 4. Nike was well represented in this year's All-Star game with their 3 signature athletes, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant, rocking All-Star versions of their signature sneakers. Kobe wore a challenge red, white, and black version of the Kobe 6. LeBron wore a treasure blue, black, and white version of the LeBron 8 version 2. And KD, he wore a challenge red, white, and black version of the KD 3. Now, all 3 players played very well in the All-Star game, with Kobe ultimately coming up with the MVP, which I'm sure made all of the LA fans very, very happy. All the shoes are available now, and you can check them out on Nike.com. So let's move on to number 3. Of course, we couldn't go a week without talking about an Air Jordan 7, and for this week, we're going to flash back to the Air Jordan 7 Retro Orion Blue. Now, I know you've seen this before, but it was one of the most popular posts last week, so definitely talking about it. Now, the shoe has a white leather upper with Orion Blue and challenge red accents on the outsole, on the tongue, and on the heel. Now, it's set to release on March 26th and should be priced right around $140. You guys have been asking about this shoe a lot, and we've gotten a lot of hits on Twitter about it, asking when it was actually going to be released. Well, the release date, again, is March 26th, and it'll be priced at $150. Let's move on to number 2. At number 2, we have a Kicks on Fire exclusive. This weekend, I was out at the Jordan brand store inside Foot Action in the Culver City Mall, and I spotted a special pair, I should say, of the Air Jordan 11. Instead of the usual patent leather that we see, there was carbon fiber on the shoe. Now, this has caused quite a bit of a stir on the blogs as people have been checking it out and really excited about the shoe. I should say we don't know if it's going to release. We don't know if this was just a sample or if it was a sign of things to come. I didn't really have time to stop and talk to the guy that had him on because I was running around taking pictures. I think this was right around the time that Dwayne Wade and Kevin Hart were there. So I just stopped, I snapped the picture, and I planned to come back and talk to him when I got an opportunity, but by the time everything slowed down where I could go and talk to him, he was gone, so I missed him. So I didn't really get to find out any information, which I apologize, you guys. I know I should know better. I should have talked to him right at that moment. My bad. Either way, check out the link below, and it'll take you to the post where there's an Air Jordan 11 carbon fiber, which is very, very exciting, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they actually do release it. So with that said, let's move on to number 1. The Nike Air Griffey Max 1 released a couple years ago and has been living a rich retro life ever since. The model here we see is in a red, black, and white colorway, which is just vibrant enough to complement the shoe's design. Now, red dominates the upper, but black and white have a strong presence on the branding and on the ankle. Now, these are set to release Saturday, February 26th, and will be priced at $140. Now, that does it for our number 1 choice in the weekly review, so let's move on to my personal pick. For my personal pick this week, I'm not going to go with a shoe, but instead I'm going to go with an interview. Over All-Star Weekend, I had the opportunity to interview Tinker Hatfield. For those who don't know, Tinker Hatfield is the man behind every Jordan since the Air Jordan 3 all the way to the Air Jordan 2011 that released last weekend. Now, I didn't get any video, but I did get an audio interview with him, and I got to sit and pick his brain and ask him a few questions about the shoes, about HTM, about how he felt about Jordan, how he even felt about the retros that were going on. And it was a pretty enlightening interview. I have to say it was probably one of the best moments of the All-Star weekend for me. It's not every day you get to speak to someone or talk to someone who has had such an impact on the footwear industry. So that's my question for this video. If you had an opportunity to interview Tinker Hatfield, what would you ask him? What would be your questions? Leave them in the comments, and I'll talk about those next week. And if I get the chance to interview Tinker again, maybe I'll ask him some of your questions. Well, with that said, this is the end of the weekly review. I am your host, Jacques Slade. As always, I hope you enjoyed. And if you do enjoy these videos, make sure you subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. There's one at the top, and I'll put one right here inside the video for you to click also. If Facebook and Twitter is your thing, then there's some links down in the description. Otherwise, this is the weekly review. I am your host, Jacques Slade. As always, I appreciate you, and I will see you next week.